Miss Marvel, what are we going to do with you? So finally, this is a little bit of a better episode where we do get some more backstory, where it wasn't just a slice of life, which is nice, but I gotta say, like, credit where credit is due. The cinematography and a lot of the scenes are fantastic in terms of how they're shot, and the camera work and the editing is real slick. I really like the color contrast going on as well. Like the sets and the atmosphere that's kind of going on is great, but the story, I don't know what they're doing. It's just all over the place. But our backstory sort of ends up setting up for how Kamala and the bracelet, for some reason, the bracelet just knew exactly where to put Kamala so that she could save her great-great-grandmother, and how that all sort of came to pass, and how our different people are all playing different parts. But where it's actually focused on the great-grandmother, that was really cool. I liked how she was in that same dilemma as our main villain. For some reason, they're just talking in English, where they should be talking in their native language, which would be the Hindu language, where we would have been fine just reading subtitles for that part. Like, that would have made more sense. It was weird seeing them switch between the actual native tongue and then into English, where just let them speak in their natural tongue, and then it would have actually flowed a little bit more, been a little bit more authentic. It's in the actual train station. Like, that's a really cool scene. There's so much going on. I like the camera work. I like the atmosphere of how busy it is. But the confrontation between the main villain and the great-grandmother, like, there's no emotional connection to any of them in terms of, like, I saw her get stabbed, but I didn't really care. I was a little bit upset that I just spent most of the episode, and the passage of time was really cool to show her life and her making something of it, which then she dies, and Kamala just, pops out of nowhere and is able to use her powers, where no one seems to notice the glowing crystals that are happening. But, like, except for one shot when she's actually going towards the father, and she's doing her, like, stars are a little, like, butterflies, and then the next shot is, like, empty and everyone's just sort of parted ways. Like, wouldn't you be a little bit concerned that there's some glowing light and some stuff going on? But no, like, everyone's just, too busy trying to get onto the train. But after the flashback, and we are into, like, present time with the old flashback with the bracelet, like, I don't know how the bracelet, like, magically talks. Like, Kamala was already in the train station before, used her, like, summoning special power to, like, spark it, and she was like, now you're here, where the interaction never really happened. But once they are back, like, the main villain just sort of walked up to the to the rift, and, like, the people just dying from turning into skeletons. Like, not once have they mentioned what this riff is, but they just casually walk up to it, turn to a skeleton, and it was the most anticlimactic thing I've seen for a main villain. Like, that was the only sense of danger that I've actually seen Kamala be in, is by this actual crew that are coming in, and they just turned to skeletons. Like, they just walked up, and then, like, she gives her powers somehow from the rift. Her powers then transfer into Kamran, and he's like, like, he's not phased. He just thinks his mother's going to come back, but he's got some new powers. And he goes to Bruno's house, and there's a little drone, and he, like, just shoots it. But, like, there's no real, I don't know how they're setting up for the finale. Like, there's no real danger for anyone. There's no main villain. Like, I don't know what the premise of this show is, besides the nice little, like, cultural change in terms of setting up for our superhero. Like, where's it going? The story just hasn't gone anywhere. I don't know what the finale is going to be. Is it going to be the FBI agents? But we have no reason for those FBI agents to be doing anything. Like, where have they come in? What have they been doing? Like, what's their motive? We still don't know the real origins of the Bangle and her powers and stuff. Like, I don't know how this show is getting, like, glowing reviews, because I'm really confused with the story. And so far the story's been more of a slice of life than giving you anything tangible in terms of a superhero origins or anything. So I'm really disappointed so far, but, like, I'm interested to see where they go. It has had moments, and I hope they can, like, rectify that, but at this stage I don't have high hopes for it. And yeah, let me know what you think below, and, like, if you are enjoying it, let me know. And, like, what are they doing? Like, how can you have your main villain just turn into a skeleton when that was the only danger? But yeah, I guess we'll see you next week for Miss Marvel episode 6, the season finale. And you know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.